Well, I think guys are, still playing hard, they understand what needs to be done. We didn't perform the way we should have last game, gave up too many explosive plays. That's something we've been talking about all year. Had some blown coverages, some missed assignments. So I got to do a better job as a coach of getting guys to understand exactly what we're asking. And that's something we've been talking about, and been doing this week, and just trying to be disciplined and do your job first before you do anybody else's job.
Yeah, Coach Carter, always a pleasure. And I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on any player, coach, or fan at this point that's starting to lose confidence in this team. Can you please say something to them?
Well, I think that, if you're 0-4 and, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about being 0-4. Nobody wants to be 0-4. I think we just got to go out and just get a win, honestly. And it starts each and every day. We still alone. We got 6 games left. And I think that, we go out here and do what we're supposed to do and get a win. I think people in Orlando are excited about the Guardians. They still came out and supported the last game. A lot of fans stayed to the end, so that was great to see. I think we just need to go out here and give them something to cheer for. Me being a coach for the team, I'm excited still, and I know some of the fans are still excited. And you guys are here every week, so I'm excited. I was expecting to see 2 of you guys, since we're 0-4, but I'm glad you guys showed up. But I think at the end of the day, it's a part of the game. If you're undefeated, they love you. If you're losing, then it's like, something has to happen. So we're excited as coaches. The players are still excited, and we're gonna go out and, try to put our best foot forward to get a win.
Coach, you mentioned that there were some big plays that you guys gave up. One of them, in particular, was the double forward pass thing, unique to your league. Yeah, I see your eyes get big there. Is that something now that kind of Houston's shown it and put it out there? Do you think that's something that not just you guys, but you think defenses throughout the league will see more of, and then will that impact your preparation moving forward?
That's one of the best plays I've ever seen in football. I'm not gonna lie to you. When they ran it, I was like, that has to be against the rules. The way they ran it was very impressive. It was a really good play. Hats off to them for doing it. If I was an offensive guy, I would try to run the same play. But it was very impressive. They got us. And I think that was one of the plays. I think it was on ESPN. It was on everything. So it was definitely a great play. I'm sure some of those Pop Warner coaches are drawing it up in the dirt trying to see if they can do it, but I think it's against the rules, maybe.
And you mentioned about the coverages, and that's something that I mentioned as well to Coach Buckley. Was it the communication, or was it just the fact that guys are just trying to do too much?
No, I would never blame a player. I always look myself in the mirror. I didn't do a good enough job of making sure guys are in the right spots. I didn't do a good enough job to making sure guys are doing what they're supposed to do. I didn't do a good enough job of, being detailed on making sure guys understand and, eliminating those big plays. So I look myself in the mirror. It starts with the coaches. Players are going to be players. I've been one of them. And, it was not like a guy got, caught on or lost. It was guys running free. So that's on the coaches. That's on me.
How are you, Coach?
Doing well.
I noticed this game, you did a lot of different disguises with coverage. Was that more to confuse them as far as give them different looks so they couldn't figure out what you were doing, or was it more to slow them down so your pass rush could get there? Because we've seen a little bit of a diminishing return on the pass rush.
Yeah, well, I think, disguising, they were a run and shoot team. So they get the ball out fast, and then they switch it up and protect and take shots. They're a pretty good offense. They keep you on your toes. So we tried to play like a chess matching game with them. We had a couple of, series where, we stopped them and had 3 or 4, 3 and outs in a row. So guys, we're definitely capable of stopping anybody we go against. I think it's just executing on gotta have plays and not giving up the explosive plays. If you take away 2 explosive plays, then it's a totally different game, But I think we gave up 2 really explosive plays. The trick play, they got us. But outside of that one, it was, just some explosive plays, and they dropped a few of them as well. So they do a good job of mixing it up, and we have to be more prepared in our preparation, and it's on me to get guys ready.
Do you feel the blown coverages were more of a case of the shuffling of the secondary, or was it just it was a good job of them mixing up their looks and confusing you guys?
Yeah, man, it's probably a mixture of both. They did a good job of mixing things up, and also, we as coaches and myself, we have to do a better job of making sure guys understand their role, their responsibility, their assignment on each and every play. So whenever something like that does happen, then I look myself in the mirror first.
Coach, I know you're the defensive coordinator, but I always like looking at things from the perspective of the guys that's practicing against him. Quentin Flowers came in last week, and he's had some time to practice. You've seen him a bit in practice. What's impressed you so far about his game and getting acclimated to the team here?
Athletic, very athletic. He throw it pretty good as well. He has some zip on it. So I like him as a person and as a player. I watched him a lot in college. He was one of my favorite guys. I watch USF all the time. And, he was one of those guys that you didn't know what was going to happen on each and every play. So I'm excited to see him. Hopefully he gets an opportunity. And we definitely could use some spark.
Coach, talk about a little bit of your leadership in the linebacking core. You got Terrance Plummer with 19 total tackles, Terrance Smith with 18 total tackles. Talk about the impact that's had on the defensive side of the ball, given the fact that you went into Houston, the number 2 rated defense in the XFL in total defense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really look at that stuff personally. I'm just focused on the win-loss column and trying to just get better every day. But those guys are definitely doing a good job for us. They're playing at a high level. They do everything we ask vocally, emotionally, and they lead by example. So it's showing. I think those guys are definitely NFL caliber players. I'm just trying to do a good job of making sure, I don't put too much on their plate, keep it simple for them. And whatever they're asked to do, they do it without a doubt.
And in that thread, talking about their leadership, how can you take that and get it to catch fire with your defensive unit? Because a lot of what we've seen on both sides of the ball has been consistency issues and some undisciplined plays. How can you take their leadership and get that to spark the rest of the team so they'll follow their lead, get that buy-in?
I mean, I think guys are bought in. I think it just, we have a few mental breakdowns, throughout each and every game. That's been our problem. You turn on, second quarter, we're pretty good in the second quarter a lot. You turn on third quarter, we're not as good. Fourth quarter, it's like we're pressing. First quarter, it starts off pretty good. So it's like we're a streaky team. And I think, that could be the pressure of guys wanting to get a win. So they try to do things that are outside of what we ask them to do, instead of just keeping it simple and doing your job on every single play. And one thing I like to say is don't get bored doing your job. Don't get bored by brushing your teeth every day. Something you should do. Don't get bored, by setting the edge if you're a defensive end. Don't get bored if you're a deep safety by being deep middle, because the football guys will find you as soon as you're undisciplined, as they've been finding us.
Yeah, and keeping on a positive note, Terrance Plummer, Terrance Smith has been really, really doing their thing on the defensive end. What other players on the team defensively or even offensively, in your opinion, has really stepped up?
I know Jacoby Jones is doing a good job for us, the defensive end spot. Stat-wise, I'm not sure what his stats are, but he's a force in the run game, in the pass game. He's definitely a bright, one of the brighter sides on the defense. Matt Elam's doing a good job in the secondary. He's been a leader mentally and emotionally for us, and he's been making some plays here and there. So I think those two guys have been doing a good job. I just want to see more, collectively. It's a team sport. We need everybody, to win. We need everybody to, reach some goals that we have. And I think just putting a small emphasis on just doing the little things right each and every day. And those guys are doing it and showing up whenever we play on Saturdays or Sundays.
With that in mind, Coach, with this Vegas team upcoming, what is it you see out of them when you're studying for them so far?
They play a few quarterbacks, both athletic guys. So, you got to be ready for both. They have some pretty big receivers, and they have some little small scat guys out there as well. So they have their roster. I mean, no roster in the XFL is, higher or way lower than others. Every team has good players, and they definitely have some good players. They can be explosive at times. Their defense has some good pass rushers, as far as just watching football and watching them on TV. They do a good job rushing the passer. So I think that it'll be a good game. Both teams are hungry for a win, I can tell you that. So I think that you'll see guys playing hard, and it'll be very competitive.
Coach, during this unfortunate losing streak, one of the things we've heard is we've practiced well during the week. We just haven't gotten it done on game day. Why do you think that is? You think it's more of a familiarity thing in practice where guys, of course, because you practiced with this guy for months now, you know how to beat him? Or is it just the fact that it's just not translating over to the game?
Well, I think it's a team game, In practice, I coach defense and help out on special teams. In the game, I coach for the Guardians. So during the game, we win together, we all lose together. So I think offense, defense, and special teams collectively have yet to come together and put a full 60 minutes together. And I think that's been the cause of us not being able to, get a win. So it's a team game. Obviously, we're not. I challenge the defense to, win the turnover battle. We hadn't won a turnover battle all year, and that's been a part of it. Turnovers, penalties been killing us. So we set some goals out for this week to, not, beat ourselves and also get some takeaways on defense. But it's a team game, so it's the greatest game in the world, in my opinion, as far as team-wise, and it's three phases, it's not just two. Special teams is a big part of it. We don't have a special teams touchdown. We don't have a block punt. We don't have a score on defense. All those things help you win games.
Yeah.
Couple more.
Yeah, and to that point, a lot of the penalties that have happened, would you say, Stanley Mapunga brought this up during the press conference that, he felt as if the ref was kind of shortchanging him, but do you feel as if it's kind of half and half, or do you feel as if it's more self-inflicted?
I mean, the rules are the rules, If you jump off sides, you jump off sides. If you hold, you hold. The rules are the rules. And with all this technology, they get the best look in the world at it. So I think that as a player or as a coach, we have to adjust to whatever the rules are. It's not one-sided. It's not any of that. Hell, if we're undisciplined, we're undisciplined. If we should look ourselves in the mirror first instead of pointing a finger at somebody else.
And the only thing is, on a positive note, I know that sometimes people don't always listen to what the coach says, but I did listen to you. I got I got your apple chips that you recommended on Instagram. Listen. So on a nice lighter note, I wanted to bring some positive energy to this press conference for sure.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Did you like him?
I did actually like him. I really did. I wish they gave a little bit more. It's a pretty small package, I did like him.
You got to go to Costco's or Sam's and get you the big basket. There.
But I appreciate the recommendation. I Seneca cinnamon apple chips. You put it up on Instagram. I did listen to what you said. I hope the players do the same and win against the Vegas Vipers. And speaking on that, what can the players do on the defensive end that will make you happy?
I mean, we got just get some turnovers. Turnovers are contagious. Getting turnovers, obviously a shutout will make any defensive coach happy. If you get a shutout, that's like the ultimate thing, you can do to be a good defense. But I think just getting turnovers, not beating ourselves. I'll just start at that. If we don't beat ourselves, we're pretty good. We don't beat ourselves, we're pretty good.
All right, guys, we're good.
Yeah, that was great. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Best
Thanks,
wishes.
Tony.
That's right.
Thanks,
Safe
Coach.
travels.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Later.